In London, the door at 10 Downing Street swung open a short time ago. Then the British Prime Minister strode out into heavy rain to announce the country is going to the polls this summer.
Earlier today, I spoke with His Majesty the King to request the dissolution of Parliament. The King has granted this request, and we will have a general election on the 4th of July. This election will take place at a time when the world is more dangerous than it has been since the end of the Cold War. Putin's Russia is waging a brutal war in Ukraine and will not stop there if he succeeds. That war has also made it all too clear the risk to our energy security. In the Middle East, the forces of Islamist extremism threaten regional and ultimately global stability. These tensions are exploited by extremists who seek to undermine our values and divide our society here at home. China is looking to dominate the 21st century by stealing a lead in technology. And migration is being weaponized by hostile states to threaten the integrity of our borders.
The CBC's Julia Chapman joins me live from our London bureau. So, Julia, this is expected to be an intense campaign. Voters appear eager for change. So what does this mean for Rishi Sunak and the Conservative Party?
It's certainly an uphill battle for the ruling Conservatives. They're trailing the opposition Labour Party by at least 20 points in most polls. But Rishi Sunak has nevertheless decided that this is the moment to declare an election in 6 weeks' time. He is looking at economic data on the up. He is pointing to his success in getting through a policy to deport migrants coming to this country unofficially to Rwanda. And he's hoping that those political victories, as he sees them, will be enough to convince the British public to give the Conservative Party another chance. It has been in power for 14 years. He is the fifth Conservative Party leader to be the Prime Minister of this country in that time. But as you say, the British public does seem hungry for change. The polls suggesting that Labour will win unless there is a major political earthquake. And in his speech acknowledging the starting of this campaign, Sir Keir Starmer, the Labour Party leader, spoke about the time for change. He said that this was a moment that the public had been waiting for. The Labour Party has certainly been pushing for it to happen as early as possible, and he put himself forward as a candidate to put Britain on a different path.
We have a long-term plan to rebuild Britain, a plan that is ready to go, fully costed and fully funded. But most importantly of all, we do all this with a new spirit of service, country first, party second. A rejection of the gesture politics you will see in this campaign, I have no doubt, from the Tories and the SNP.
And so, Julia, what are the main issues for voters?
Undoubtedly, the economy is going to be at the forefront of many voters' minds, but Rishi Sunak is hoping that economic growth and falling inflation will work in his favour. Migration is also a popular subject, particularly for already Conservative voters. It may not be one that swings many voters on either side, but the state of the healthcare system in the UK is also of concern to many people. Waiting times for appointments have gone up in this country. There have been scenes of people waiting in hospitals for many, many hours to be treated. So certainly that will be another topic that people will be voting on. When it comes to the Labour Party's policies, the party has put forward a manifesto of sorts, six main pledges that the Labour leader has made. But the party has been criticised for being light on detail. So it's now got 6 weeks to make its case to the voting public and try to convince people that change is needed and that they should not be voting for the Conservative Party once again and put their trust in Labour.
Julia, thank you. The CBC's Julia Chapman in London.